And specifically, we're going to be talking about the book Starting Strength by Mark Rippetoe.
A classic.
Yeah, this book, it's been around for a while, and it's like
the Bible.
Yeah, it's like the Bible of barbell training. And
for a good reason.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's helped so many people. So today we're going to be diving into some of the key concepts from Starting Strength.
All right, let's get into it.
So one of the main things that Rippetoe talks about in the book is the idea that strength is the foundation of all other fitness qualities.
Right, and I think that's something that people maybe don't realize right away.
Yeah, it's like so many people get into fitness and they're like, oh, I want
to look good.
Yeah, I want to look good. I want to,
get that beach bod.
Yeah, get toned, right?
Right.
But Rippetoe's like, no.
Strength first.
Strength is the foundation.
Yeah.
So why does he say that?
Well, he makes the argument, and it's a good one, that if you think about it, almost every other fitness quality, like, your endurance or your power or even your flexibility, it all kind of stems from
being strong.
Being strong enough to actually do these things.
Yeah, so like if you're not strong, you're not going to be able to run very far.
Exactly. You're going to get injured. If you try to lift something heavy and you're not strong, you're going to hurt yourself.
Right. So it underpins everything.
It really does. It's kind of like the base of the pyramid.
Yeah, like the foundation of the house.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's a really important concept that people need to understand. Because if you're just focused on, doing all these other things, but you're not building that strength foundation, you're
missing out.
You're missing out. Yeah. And you're also
potentially
setting yourself up.
Setting yourself up for injury.
Yeah.
For sure.
First, so how does Rippetoe recommend people build this strength foundation?
Well, this is where the famous barbell lifts come in.
Okay, let's hear it.
So he really emphasizes 5 main lifts.
Yep.
The squat, the press,
the
deadlift, the bench press, and the power clean.
All right, so we got squat press, deadlift, bench press, and power clean.
Those are the big 5.
Those are the big ones. Okay,
and they're compound movements, which means that they...
Yeah, tell me about that.
They use multiple muscle groups at the same time.
Okay, so you're not isolating.
Like doing a bicep curl or something.
Exactly right. You're working your whole body.
So that's why they're so effective for building overall strength.
Right, because you're basically forcing your body to work as a unit.
Yeah, and I've noticed that
by triggers.
When I'm doing these lifts, I feel it.
A huge hormonal response.
Yeah, I feel it everywhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just like, oh, my legs are sore.
You feel it the next day.
It's like my whole body is sore.
So it's definitely a full body
for sure
workout.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about each of these lifts individually a little bit.
Right.
Starting with the squat.
The squat, yeah.
So Rippetoe calls the squat the king of all exercises.
It's a good one.
Why is that?
Well, think about it. It's the most fundamental human movement pattern there is.
Yeah, we squat all the time.
We squat down to pick things up. We squat down to sit in a chair.
To go to the bathroom?
We squat down to go to the bathroom, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's something that we do naturally.
Right.
And it's also a movement that uses...
a lot of muscles.
So many muscles. The biggest muscles in your body.
Yeah, your quads, your glutes.
Your backs, even your core is engaged.
Yeah, everything's working.
Everything's working in the squat.
So it's a really, really effective exercise.
Yeah.
For building overall strength.
And it has so much carryover to other activities.
Yes, absolutely.
Like if you think about
sports.
Any kind of sport where you need to jump or run or change direction quickly.
Yeah.
A strong squat is going to help you do all of those things better.
Absolutely. So the squat is super important.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the press.
All right, the press.
So the press is an overhead pressing movement.
Yes.
And Rippetoe specifically recommends the standing press.
Standing strict press.
Yeah.
Why is that?
So I think there's a couple of reasons.
Okay.
One is that it's a really good measure of overall upper body strength.
Okay.
Because you're pressing the weight straight overhead. You're not using any momentum or any body English. It's just pure strength.
Yeah, it's a true test.
It's a true test.
Of a strength.
And it also works your core really hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you have to stabilize your body.
Oh, to keep the weight from going.
From going forward or backward.
Yeah.
So you're working your shoulders, your triceps,
your core.
Yeah, it's another
great exercise.
Full body exercise in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the press is another great one. Now let's talk about the deadlift.
The deadlift.
So the deadlift is...
This is a big one.
Yeah, it's kind of intimidating.
It can be intimidating.
To a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's basically you're picking a weight up off the ground.
That's it.
Right.
You're picking a heavy weight off the ground.
Sounds simple.
It sounds simple,
but it's
but there's a lot of technique involved.
that, and it works.
It uses so many muscles.
Almost every muscle in your body.
Yeah, your back.
Your back, your glutes,
Yeah.
your hamstrings,
Quads.
your quads,
Yeah,
your forearms.
Yeah, even your grip strength.
Everything.
It's
a true test of full body strength.
The ultimate, full body strength exercise.
And it's also a really functional movement.
Yeah, because we pick things up off the ground.
All the time.
All the time.
Right. So
having a strong deadlift is going to help you.
In so many areas of your life.
Yeah, just in everyday life.
Yeah, it'll prevent injuries.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll make you stronger.
Okay, so deadlifts. It's a good one.
Another essential exercise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the bench press.
They have a bench press.
So the bench press is probably the most popular
It's the one everyone knows.
lift out there. Yeah.
Right.
Everybody wants to know.
What's your bench?
What's your bench?
Right.
So the bench press is basically you're long on your back on a bench.
Mm-hmm.
You're layering a weight down to your chest.
Yeah.
And then pressing it back up.
It's a pushing movement.
Right.
It primarily works your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps.
Okay, so it's a good upper body
It's a great upper body exercise.
exercise. And Rippetoe includes it in his program.
He does because
Even though he's not a huge fan.
yeah, he's not a huge fan of it.
Bodybuilding movements.
Right.
He recognizes that the bench press is a good exercise for building upper body strength.
Okay, so it has its place
It has its
in a balanced program.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, let's talk about the power clean.
the power clean, all right. So the power clean is,
This is a more explosive movement,
yeah, it's a little more complex
a little more technical
than the other lifts.
than the other lifts.
Yeah, it basically involves taking a weight from the ground
Mm-hmm.
and in one explosive movement,
Yeah.
bringing it up to your shoulders.
They're basically catching it.
Yeah, it's like
in a squat position.
yeah, lift and then a squat.
Yeah, it's like a combination of a deadlift and a front squat.
Yeah, and it's a
It
great,
is a great exercise for developing power,
yes,
which is the ability to generate force quickly.
yeah. And that's important for
Athletes.
athletes, yeah. Anyone who needs to move quickly.
Jump, run, throw.
Yeah.
The power clean is going to be really beneficial
So Rippetoe recommends the power clean as a
as a way to
way to develop that.
develop power and explosiveness.
Power and explosiveness.
Okay.
Now, so we've got these 5 big lifts,
Those are the core lifts
the core lift.
of starting strength.
And Rippetoe is very specific about how he wants people to perform these lifts.
Right. He's all about technique.
Yes, technique is king.
Technique is king.
So why is technique so important?
Well, for a couple reasons. One is to prevent injuries.
Yeah, if you're lifting heavy weights,
You got to do it right.
you got to do it right.
Otherwise, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, and the other reason is to ensure that you're actually working the muscles
That you're supposed to be working.
that you're supposed to be working, right?
Right. If you're using bad form, you might be using other muscles to compensate.
And then you're not going to get the full benefits of the exercise.
Exactly.
So Rippetoe provides very detailed instructions in the book
He does.
on how to perform each lift
With pictures and everything.
with pictures and everything. Yeah,
He's
got
very thorough.
he breaks it down step by step.
Yeah.
And he also talks about things like breathing,
Yeah, the Valsalva maneuver.
the Valsalva maneuver, yeah, which is basically
Holding your breath
holding your breath while you're lifting.
while you're lifting.
And that helps to stabilize your core.
Exactly. It creates intra-abdominal pressure.
So it's like a natural weightlifting belt.
Yeah, it's like a natural weightlifting belt.
Yeah.
So Rippetoe is all about technique.
Yeah, and he emphasizes it throughout the book.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to be following the Starting Strength program,
Got to pay attention to technique.
got to pay attention to technique. Yeah. It's not just about
Throwing weight around.
throwing weight around. Yeah, it's about
Doing it right.
doing it right and doing it safely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the big lifts.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about technique.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about programming.
Programming. Okay.
So how does Rippetoe recommend people actually structure their workouts?
Well, he's a big advocate
Okay.
for what's called a linear progression.
Linear progression. Okay, so what's that?
So basically that means that you're increasing the weight that you lift
Every workout.
every workout.
Okay.
So you start with a weight that's challenging but doable,
Uh-huh.
and then you add a little bit of weight each time you work out.
So you're constantly challenging yourself.
You're constantly challenging yourself.
Okay, and that forces your body to adapt.
Exactly. And that's how you get stronger
Okay, so you're not just going to the gym and doing the same weight
over and over again.
over and over again.
You got to keep pushing yourself.
You're constantly pushing yourself to lift a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. And Rippetoe also talks about the importance of rest and recovery.
Yes.
So you're not just lifting heavy weights every single day.
You got to give your body time to recover.
You got to give your body time to recover. Yeah, because that's when the muscles actually grow.
That's when the magic happens.
That's when the magic happens. Yeah. So he recommends
Training 3 days a week
3 days a week.
with a day of rest in between.
Okay, so it's a pretty simple
It's a simple program,
but effective program.
but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally,
Mm-hmm.
Rippetoe talks about the role of assistance exercises.
Assistance exercises. Okay.
So assistance exercises are basically exercises that are
Not the main lifts.
not the main lifts, right? So they're things like rows, pull-ups,
Pull-ups,
bicep curls.
bicep curls, things like that.
So what's the purpose of assistance exercises?
Well, they can be helpful for a couple of reasons. One is to address any weak points
Okay.
that you might have.
So like if your back is weak,
You might want to do some rows
do some rows, yeah.
to
Okay.
strengthen your back.
And they can also be helpful for just building overall muscle mass.
Yeah, because they allow you to
Target specific
target
ones.
specific muscles
Yeah.
that maybe aren't getting as much work from the main lifts.
Okay, so they're like a supplement
Yeah, there's supplements.
to the main lifts.
But Rippetoe emphasizes that
They shouldn't be the focus.
they shouldn't be the focus.
Yeah.
The main lift should always be the priority,
The main lifts are the foundation.
the foundation.
Okay, so that's a good overview
Yeah.
of starting strength.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the key takeaways for listeners?
I think the biggest one is that strength is the foundation of all other fitness qualities.
Yeah, so if you're not prioritizing strength training,
You're doing yourself a disservice.
you're doing yourself a disservice. Yeah,
Another takeaway is that
so you got to use proper technique.
technique is crucial.
Technique is crucial.
Not only to prevent injuries, but also to ensure that you're getting the most out of your workouts.
Yeah. And finally,
Mm-hmm.
Rippetoe's linear progression program is a very effective way to build strength.
Yeah, it's simple, but it works.
It's simple, but it works.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to get stronger,
Starting strength is a great resource.
it's a great resource.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you're thinking, I'm not really sure if my current workout routine is
Cutting it?
cutting it. Yeah. Maybe I need to reevaluate things.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to focus more on strength.
Check out starting strength.
Check out starting strength.
Yeah.
It might be.
It might change your life.
It might change your life. Yeah, I know. It's changed a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, sure.
So that's it for a deep dive on starting strength.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.